Hello, coin collectors out there, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And look what we have here: two 1997 well-used United States quarters. And it's, of course, the Washington quarter, or the $1/4, or the 25-cent piece. It says Liberty at the top, In God We Trust under Washington's chin, 1997 at the bottom. And then here on this one, we see that there is a D. And D, of course, is for the Denver Mint. On this one over here, we see it's the same, Liberty on the top, but we see behind George Washington, there's a P. And the P, of course, is for the Philadelphia Mint. Now, sometimes you get these coins and they're so flattened out on the P's that you're not sure if it's a D, but this one's pretty clear. We see the tail coming down. So that's Philadelphia. That's Denver. And when you look at the two together, you see it's hard to confuse them if you have them both, because the D and the P are just different shapes. Let's see if we can hold them up in a way that, or blow them up in a way that you can see them both at the same time. So the D and the P are just quite different shapes. So even if you lose the tail on the P, it doesn't really look much like that D. So if you have them both, easy to identify. Now, why is 1997 a good year? Well, one of the reasons that 1997 is interesting, at least to collectors, is there were only a couple more years. 97 and 98 were the last 2 years that they put this eagle on the back of the United States quarter. In 1999, they started the state quarter series, and then they moved to the territories series, and then they moved to the national parks and whatever. And you have not seen these on the back again after 1998. So people are starting to collect them a little bit more because you can't get the eagle on the back anymore. And who knows if they're ever going to come back. We thought that they were just going to do the 50 states, and then they decided to do the 50 states and the territories, and then they decided to do, these national parks and other national wonders. And now they're doing some great battle kind of things, and we're just not sure when these eagles are coming back. So let's look at the eagle. It says United States of America above the eagle, E pluribus unum right above his or her head. The eagle is standing, or hard telling what the eagle is doing. It's levitating above these olive branches down here, holding a shaft of arrows. And this shaft of arrows, actually, if you get a good version of this, it actually is tied up. And there's one of the ties right there between the eagle's claws down here at the bottom. This X is actually the tie to the shaft of arrows. And then you see the tail coming down below. Way down here it says $quarter. Now this design has been on this coin since the 30s. In fact, in 1932, the first coin with this design on the back and this design on the front came out. Those were the silver coins. They were 90% silver, and they made them from 1932 until 1964. Here's one of the silver ones here, the 64. In a way, it looks like you can tell the difference, but the real way to tell the difference is, there's two real ways to tell the difference. One is you tip it up and you see that there's no copper inside, because these are a copper nickel clad copper. So it's shiny, but inside is copper. And these are just 90% silver, and there is no copper in them at all. And if you want, you can actually weigh them. The silver ones weigh 6.25 grams, and the copper nickel clad copper weigh 5.67 grams. So there's about a 0.6 gram difference between the two. So if you're not sure if it's silver or not because it looks kind of weird, just put it on the scale, and if it weighs well over 5.67, if it weighs 6.2 to 6.3, then you know it's probably a silver coin. And the silver coins actually have quite a bit of value. They have, just in melt value alone, you're talking about a couple dollars in silver. So these ones are very collectible. These ones here, not so collectible unless you get them in a proof set version. So I said we had a D and a P, a Denver and a Philadelphia. Well, the proof set coin will have an S on it, and that's for the San Francisco Mint. And those coins are probably worth $4 or $5 if you get a San Francisco Mint coin from 1997. There's also a number of error coins out there, and they go the ones that are really the most expensive are the ones where they put these on the wrong coin. So there's one out on eBay now for almost $500, where they put this on top of a U.S. nickel. So essentially, they took this die and stamped a nickel with it, and of course it doesn't fit, right? You only get some portion of it, and you can't even see the Liberty. You get like this much on the coin. So look at that one on eBay if you want. That's going to be an error coin worth a lot of money. There's also one where they have a number where they have chopped off the side. They call them clip errors, or clipped planchet errors, or sometimes they call them just clipped planchet, or chunks out of them, or whatever. So those ones are going to be expensive. These ones are not going to be expensive and probably never will be. What they did, because they knew they were changing from the eagle on the back to some of the other coins, and I'll show you one of the other coins. We have the state coin. Here's the California state coin. It came out in 2005. So the front isn't the same on the state coins. It is Washington. Does say they put United States of America on instead of Liberty. They put $quarter on the front, and what they do is they try to jam everything on the front, including the mint mark and the "In God We Trust" and Liberty, and the $quarter. And then on the back they had stuff about the state with the date, and underneath that, "Ne Pluribus Unum." So this is what you see lately, all these images on the back, and you're not seeing this anymore, and we're not sure whether you ever will. All right, how many did they make? That's what people really ask all the time. And in 1997, at the Philadelphia Mint, they made 595 million, almost 596 million. And at the Denver Mint, they made about 600 million. So between the two mints, they made about 1.2 billion of these. And that's why they'll probably never be of any value, even though they're getting harder and harder to find.